Hey YouTube folks, I realize there's no distinguished good angle I can get while holding a camera phone with limited lighting. My main camcorder is my brother's using it right now, so I have to use my phone. The video that you're about to watch, I've been sitting on for, well, geez, now like 9 months. I made it right after Election Day, and it was just very, very raw thoughts. Kind of like a collection of little mini rants that I've been writing on social media, things that I've been saying to people over the past couple days, and it just accumulated in this outburst. Because even leading up to that, I hadn't done a lot of YouTube videos because I'd been busy with school. I've been looking for a new job, and I haven't really been able to edit it or put it together since I recorded it. But as of now, as of recently, we've got the president ending DACA. He tried to implement a ban on transgender folks, which was going to be the time when I was actually going to upload this video. I was actually going to do an entirely new video. The GOP tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, things like this. And I realized that I want to get these thoughts out there. And every time I try to sit down and write some bullet points for my thoughts on this presidency, the same stuff comes out. And I think this video is more fun, if anything, because it's very filled with a lot of anger. And yeah, there's parts where I go over and over things because it was just off the cuff. But a lot of the stuff I still stand by. So here it is. I don't really... I want to say that I don't know what to say, even though I'm about to probably talk for 20 minutes, and that's kind of going to defeat the idea that I don't know what to say. I've been sitting on what I wanted to say for a long time, all day. It's about 4 o'clock here, over in the eastern hemisphere of America. Yeah, and it's the day after the election, and we now have President-elect Donald Trump. And I'm heartsick. I'm angry, and I'm disappointed. I'm angry because we've come to a point in America where we know some things about ourselves as a nation. Over the past couple of years, we've had some high-profile police shootings. We've had demonstrable instances of sexism. We've only just now won the rights for homosexual Americans to marry. And we're told that we've got all the progress we need, that we've progressed far, that racism is gone, sexism is gone, or at least it's come to a point where we don't have to worry about it as much. That things like feminism isn't important. Movements like Black Lives Matter aren't important. We're told this day in and day out by, I'm sorry, a lot of people on the right. But now we get here. We get here and we have a huge chunk of America that is okay with this guy being in power. A guy that has complete disrespect for Muslims, that has complete disrespect for Hispanics. You know, he disregards the Khan family and their sons' heroism by cooking up conspiracy theories. Disregards Hispanics by attacking like that judge, claiming that since he's an Hispanic, he can't judge properly, who has, needless to say, a total disregard for women, objectifying their looks, bragging about sexual assault, and kind of casting it aside in his apology by, of course, bringing up Bill Clinton. He might as well just say that he's okay with it. And so, yeah, I'm disheartened by that, needless to say. And before anybody brings up the fact that he didn't win the majority vote, yeah, he didn't. And that's frustrating, very frustrating, but Still, there's a huge chunk of America that's okay with him. And now we're on the eve of this. And leading up to the election, I didn't want to have a whole lot of doom and gloom, apocalyptic predictions when it came to getting Trump in office. He's going to be a shit leader. He's a shit businessman. He's a shit human being. But I know a lot of his really bad claims that he has for what he wants to do, like building a wall, which we can't afford, and he's not going to get Mexico to do it. Or him trying to ban Muslims, or him trying to overturn Roe v. Wade. Jeez, somebody wants to get a hold of me. A lot of his claims I know are things that he's not going to be able to do because the president doesn't have a monopoly on control. Even though now he does have half of Congress that's Republican, even though Republicans don't like him. Okay, my point is I didn't want to have a whole lot of doom and gloom about I was about to say Obama, Jesus, about Trump. Because of that, I don't think that he's going to be as disastrous of a president as a lot of people that don't like him think he's going to be. But then I took a step back and I looked at it from other people's perspectives. I'm looking at it from the perspective of a, albeit lower class, white, straight dude. And being in this country with an Obama presidency, god damn it, a Trump presidency is going to be frustrating, to say the least. But it's not going to affect me the way it's going to affect other Americans, specifically Muslim Americans, gay Americans, or anybody in the LGBTQ plus sphere of society, women, needless to say, because with Muslims, aside from what any sort of profiling that he might employ, he's emboldened his base, his basket of deplorables, to now he's empowered them. He's empowered them. Now they can harass more so than already has happened. With Hispanics now, he's empowered them to be able to harass people, and with the gay community, they're nervous too, because as a country, we've given the seal of approval to this bigot, and it kind of sends a message to them. A bunch of my friends are talking on Facebook about how the feel I get, the vibe I get from it is that since we've given this guy the seal of approval, we are telling them they don't matter. Because with that piece of shit VP he has, Mike Pence, this guy has been for gay conversion therapy. Okay? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've already talked about how they're going to overturn marriage equality now. And that's terrifying. A friend of mine was talking about how a friend of hers was going to propose to her girlfriend. And now she's worried about it because they're not going to be able to get married. Why? Because this bastard Pence hides behind his religion and wants to disrupt the lives and the equality and the livelihood of people. For what? For what? And so that's why I'm mad. And that's why I'm frustrated. It's not for me, but for minorities, for the underprivileged, for people like that are going to get screwed over in this presidency. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And I'll fully admit it. If in a year he hasn't botched everything, he hasn't hurt a bunch of people that I care about, I'll take it back. I really hope so. And women, we've, in giving this guy our seal of approval as a country, we are telling women that, the sexual predator can still be successful. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he'll do good in other areas. It doesn't matter to the fact that he has multiple rape accusations leveled against him. It doesn't matter the fact that he brags about sexual assault. It doesn't matter that he exploits his wife and daughter. Doesn't matter. It'd be like having your rapist get a superior position to you at work. Like, how does that feel? And so no, I'm sorry, but no wonder women don't come forward when they're victims of sexual assault, because we do this. We validate these people. So don't tell me ever again about how if you convict somebody of rape or sexual assault, that's somehow going to ruin their life, because this motherfucker's life sure hasn't been ruined at all. And I do get his base. They fall under some things. There's people who are disenfranchised with the political system, because we've got things like those emails that came out from the DNC that were trying to undermine Bernie Sanders, which sucks, awful. They're disenfranchised because they feel that their vote doesn't have any sort of weight, that they don't have a voice. And so they want an outsider. That's why they were interested in Carson. They are interested in somebody who's going to bring something new, which I don't wholly buy, because if they did, they'd be more behind Sanders. But they don't like Sanders because he's a socialist, and America has never employed social measures that have worked before. But so I don't wholly buy it. Because I don't know what Trump will actually bring that's new, because he's obviously pandering to the political right. And while he has not gotten the interest of Republicans, which is funny because goddamn, so many of them hate him, he has latched on to a very deplorable area of the country, not area, but section of the country. The deep south, the far radical right, and for some reason the religious right, even though nothing of what he stands for is in any way Christian. I don't understand that. The other type of person that he panders to or appeals to is just the racists. The people that they don't like the racists and the bigots. They don't like gays. They're icky. They're an abomination because they're against this group of people's religious doctrines, and how dare we have marriage equality, because how terrifying that somebody might have to make a cake for a gay wedding. That's the only thing I ever hear in the defense of overturning marriage equality is, oh no, they might have to make a cake for a gay wedding. Okay, petty. It sucks. It's stupid. I'm not a fan of any gay couple that would force a business to make them a gay cake. But if that's the worst thing you're worried about, then I'm sorry, but you're a dumbass. Appeals to the bigots. They're upset at the Black Lives Matter movement, and they blame Obama for somehow creating racism. So they want to stamp that down, because as Trump says, he's the law and order candidate. What sort of law and order? What sort of law? Avoiding taxes? Inciting violence at your protest? Telling people to get thrown out because they're saying things you don't like? No, you're full of shit, buddy. The xenophobes, people who hate Muslims, they want to ban Muslims from entering the country, even though you're way more likely to get murdered by a white male with sexual repression problems than you ever will ISIS. But no, we gotta be worried about them because they wear different headdresses than us. And so he incites these nutcases to bring about voter intimidation and things like that. And I'm sorry, but you know what? If you were to put a headdress on these people, they'd be terrorists. But since they're white, good old Americans, they're not considered terrorists. But even though he appeals to them in this way, in the realm of people being disenfranchised and people just being pieces of shit, that's still no reason to vote for him, because he's a piece of shit too. He's got no plans. He's got no sort of policy that he's going to enact that is actually useful, or at least is different than what anybody else is going to say, than any other politician is going to bring about. He makes a lot of lofty promises, but does nobody remember 4 years ago or 8 years ago how every candidate makes lofty promises that are not going to be brought about? You know, Obama claiming that he was going to bring close down Gitmo woes in the first year of his presidency. You know, that first year came and went, and that didn't happen. Candidates are always going to make promises, so I'm not interested in their promises. I'm interested in the details of how they're going to implement these things. And he's all he has is the most broadest descriptions. He's going to do it. He's going to make great stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best. And no, that's not a media spin on everything. When it comes out of his goddamn mouth and you quote him verbatim, that's not a media spin. And on top of that, just the way he's acted now and in the past. The way he's acted in the past, the fact that he's obviously not any sort of Republican, the fact that he's definitely not Christian, so why he appeals to the religious right I'll never get. Well, because the religious right is not about religion, it's not about Christ, it's about tyranny, politics, control, and fear, and the almighty dollar. And the way he is now, how he can't take criticism. He's got the thinnest skin of any human being I've ever seen. He makes up things about sex tapes to shame people that criticize him. He lies during speeches and debates. He's got to attack people personally, like calling Hillary a nasty woman and things like that. And then he backs up on them. That's the best part. Oh, that's my favorite. Is how he's loved because he says what's on his mind. He says what we all want to think. Even though I've never wanted to make fun of the mentally disabled, okay? I've never wanted to talk about shooting journalists. I've never wanted to grab women by the pussies without their consent. Nobody thinks this unless you're a basket of deplorables. But he'll say things like when he implied that he wanted his followers to go shoot Hillary Clinton, and then he backs down on it. So, sorry, he's a coward. He's a huge coward. But that's what we wanted, apparently. We wanted him because we couldn't handle Hillary. And everything surrounding the criticism of Hillary is such goddamn bullshit. Yeah, she's a shill. She's a crooked politician, just like every other goddamn politician we've ever elected to office. It doesn't mean that she wouldn't be able to get things done, okay? Because a president doesn't act alone. They surround themselves by people, by VPs, well, one VP, a cabinet, and what a lot of Trump's base don't get is that, I'm sorry, Hillary is not a liberal. She has a D after her name, but the most liberal thing that she is that she's pro-choice now. She didn't always used to be. But people change. People change. People change their opinions on gay marriage. People change their opinions on abortion, wars, the best method to take for a better economy. People change. And of course in politics it's looked upon as flip-flopping, because you gotta stay the course no matter what, which is stupid, completely stupid. I would much rather, I much more respect somebody who is able to grow and fess up to the fact that they're wrong. But she is, of all the people that were on that ballot, she's the most qualified. Jill Stein Johnson, I can't stand them. They're not qualified, for one, to run a country, and they're disconnected. Johnson's kind of crazy. The best thing that he's got going for him is, oh, legalize weed, cool. Stein, no, fuck her. Her outlooks on just science and medicine, her weird pseudo anti-vax stance, no thanks. Not gonna take it. But of course, the biggest thing everybody's got is Benghazi and the emails, which are bull and shit. Benghazi is an insanely insanely stupid conspiracy theory And the email thing, she's been acquitted, but the FBI has done it twice and found nothing. Nothing. And were this a candidate that they liked, these morons that support Trump would be fine with it. They'd be waving it like a flag that their candidate, if it was like someone like Trump who did this, was found innocent by the FBI. Therefore, we shouldn't talk about it ever again. But because she's a woman and because she's got a D after her name, she's got to be demonized to the ends of the earth because we got to dig up something. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's like these people think that the alternative, oh, I'm not going to vote for Trump, can't vote for Hillary because she's a crooked politician and she got people killed in Benghazi. Nah, okay, yeah, sure. We respect people more if they were to vote in a third-party candidate or not vote at all. Maybe not. But vote in a third-party candidate of somebody that more agrees with their stances. I'm just so angry. I'm so frustrated. Not just because of a Trump presidency, but because of what it says about us. It says that we're okay with this stuff. We don't mind killing civilians. We've already said that a dozen times that we're okay with killing civilians. We're okay with sexual assault. We don't care about Muslims. Let's overturn marriage equality. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I'm drained after this. But, and this is a big but, I don't want to stop advocating. In fact, I want to do more. I do feel like this past election I didn't do enough. I didn't get out there and campaign for Hillary. I didn't get engaged. I didn't do a whole lot of activism or anything. I mean, because, you know, life, school, work, whatever, those things come first. But this is our country we're talking about. So I think we do have a responsibility to be advocates. And so this isn't over. People are hurt. One of my best friends, she was talking about how she's like in mourning today because she's she's gay and she's in mourning because she's so broken by this and what this says to her about the country. But we're not done. There's gonna be some problems. We have a base of horrible people that have been empowered by this, but it's not like we are without empowerment. Because as a group of free thinkers, of progressives, we can be stronger than this. Because our movement is not based around fear and tyranny. It's based on compassion and well, like the term progressive, progress. And that's way better than anything that his base can dig up, because they're cowards. They're afraid. I wanted to end it on some sort of big motivational soliloquy, but I don't know what I got anymore. But we still have each other, and we got a country that we have to defend from threats, foreign and domestic. Not implying that we're going to have to shoot anybody. No, that's Trump's base that wants to do that. Anyway, stay strong, people. We can still Trump hate. And that's going to be the last of my motivational things. I'll see you guys later.